The newest update to the Pro Connect app for the HearBack Pro system adds one big feature and a few smaller but still incredibly handy tools. The big new tool we added is a control room mixer mode for the HearBack Pro system. You can designate a HearBack Pro mixer in the control room or at front of house or monitor world for the engineer to use to listen to other people's mixes and even remote control their settings. Let's see how it's done. You can access this new control room mixer function in a couple places. In Settings, in a drop-down menu, and down here on the bottom right of the screen. Over here, you see the normal list of mixers that you would have seen even in the old app before we released this update. So let's make one of those mixers our control room mixer. Generally, a virtual mixer would be a good choice for a control room mixer. When you click down here and choose which one is your control room mixer or under Settings, if you have a virtual mixer, it recommends it. Of course, you can choose any mixer, but a virtual mixer is a common solution for control rooms and front of house. For this demo, however, we'll use a normal mixer. Let's make 6B, 5E the control room mixer. So once you do that, you can see it says control room idle, no source. You're not listening to anything. You can see the designated control room mixer is still in your mixer list, but now there's this little green note that says control room mixer, so it designates it as special, so it doesn't get confused. Since it's now the control room mixer, it has some more limited features for the mixer itself. If you're looking at a normal mixer, you get to see the mix, but on your control room mixer you don't. That's because you're actually using the control room mixer to look at and adjust other mixers on the network. So if we choose another mixer from the Devices menu, that's what we'll be listening to. And we can say stop. Up here you'll see a toggle switch. Changing it from monitor to mixer allows you to use your control room mixer just like a normal mixer. This allows you to set up a mix and then copy it to another mixer. So you'll still have the ability to set it up as your control room mixer, but then also use it as a normal mixer. When you're done, you would toggle it back to monitor status. And a reminder, when you're in monitor status, it only allows you to control the master volume and intercom volumes. A feature in control room mixer mode is the option for always on intercom. It works like the standard intercom on a HearBack Pro mixer, except if you toggle this on, it's always sending the broadcast intercom, even without touching an intercom button. It provides flexibility for the engineer to route their console's talkback through the mixer to be able to chat with any musician who has a HearBack Pro mixer. That way, the console's push-to-talk works, and the control room mixer is always broadcasting that signal. There's one thing you want to be careful about with this function, though. The control room mixer's always-on intercom transmits silently without flashing the red intercom light you'd normally see on a mixer. That keeps it from flashing constantly and annoying the engineer. Another feature while in monitoring mode is you can choose whether you want it to auto-follow when you click on mixers. By default, that's on, so the mixer you click on and are viewing is the one you're controlling and hearing. But if you want to, you can go back to your settings here, and it allows you to listen to one mixer while viewing another. To end listening to that mixer, you can click stop either on that page or at the bottom right next to the control room. Then when you click on another mixer, you're going to hear that new mixer. One other thing that's different in control room mode is that this is not the master volume for the mixer you're viewing. That's your mixer's master volume for the control room. That's to keep you from blowing out your musician's ears. So if you move the channels, you're definitely adjusting their mix or the pan or anything else on their mixer. But if you just control your volume, that's yours. You can also set up a submix on somebody else's mixer while in control room mode. An alert comes up to tell you submixes can't be edited on a mixer while it's being monitored. Pro Connect will pause the monitoring, build the submix on your control room mixer so you can hear it, and then push the result back to the musician's mixer. So we're going into this mode where we can add a channel. We've built a little submix, and you can name it. Just as easily, we can delete it. The two other functions this Pro Connect update adds are 1. Adding a section for our Dante-specific Switchback Plus when it ships, and 2. Adding OSC or Open Sound Control capabilities. First, the Dante section. Up here at the top left, we now have a drop-down menu. If you change it over to Dante, that's how you would access any Switchback Plus you have connected. And we have plans to add some app functionality here for additional Dante devices in the future. Second, we added OSC capability, which adds connection with audio consoles, synthesizers, and other OSC-enabled devices. It has a log for OSC too. Some general advice is, if you're not already proficient with OSC, it's probably a good idea to get familiar with it before adjusting anything in this section. One more handy little tool added on this update is this little question mark. When you click it, it jumps straight to the manual section that applies to that portion. So it's a pretty quick Q&A. Keep an eye out for additional updates in the coming months. We're always working to make things easier and more flexible for Here Technologies users. You can download ProConnect for Mac and Windows free at heretechnologies.com.